everyone, and welcome to Wood Burning 101. So I am just going to be explaining the basics of wood burning. This is a highly requested video. A lot of you wanted to know what materials I work with, where I purchase them, just the basic process of wood burning. For those of you who are new to this channel and don't know about wood burning, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's burning on wood. You can burn on a variety of different surfaces. There's leather, there's wood, there's paper, there's a whole list of it. And I guess you can do a little bit of researching on Google. Just type in what can I wood burn or what's safe to wood burn. I would recommend using that one. For me, I'm comfortable with burning on wood, but maybe in the near future I might do some leather work, burn on leather. I have a bunch of materials laid out right now, and please excuse the messy background, it's my bed. But I'm gonna be showing you what I work with and the brands that I use, and I hope you guys find this video helpful, and let's get right to it. So the items laid out in front of you are materials that you will be using the most when you are wood burning. So these items are actually items that I personally use myself. Here I have some watercolor pencils, and it's nothing fancy, but I use the Artist Law brand, and I purchased this over at Michael's. And the price of these, I believe, range between $2.99 and $5. And it comes with a pack of 24 pieces, and you will also be needing a pencil to draw out a sketch of your image that you want to wood burn. And you can just use any pencil that you choose. You will be needing an eraser, and I personally like to use this little like plasticky rubber one versus like the pink erasers or any colored erasers. I tend to avoid that one. I just like this plain one. You will also be needing watercolor tubes. It's just a tube of watercolor paint, as you can see, and you would just dilute this, just add a little bit of water and paint on the surface that you are working on. You'll be needing a container. I recommend using 2 containers, one for just cleaning your brush and the other one to lightly dip your paintbrush into the water and spread it onto your paint if you are choosing to use the tube paint instead of the watercolor pencils. You'll also be needing the paintbrush, and nothing fancy, just a regular paintbrush will do fine. Doesn't have to be super expensive. This one is optional, but I find it easier if you are coloring your wood burn art with the watercolor pencils. I would suggest using a spray bottle to wet the surface. That'll make it easier for you to color the piece that you're working on. And you don't need to apply a generous amount, just lightly spray the surface and that should cover it. You'll also be needing a surface to wood burn on, and this is just an example of what you can use. These are just little woodsies. They're like a pack of, I think, 100 for like $2, and that's if you're like barely starting out and don't know if you really want to, try out this craft medium for sure. These are really good test pieces to work on, and if you want to move on up from that, you can use these wood burn plaques, or these wooden plaques, sorry. These come in a variety of sizes and shapes as well. So this one is an example right here. So here's an even larger one that you can work on as well. This is just a magnet strip in case you want to turn any of your wood burn pieces into magnets. Obviously a magnet strip will not hold something this large, so you would use it for something very small like these little woodsy pieces. These magnet strips are very inexpensive, and you can just super glue this onto the back of your wood piece, and you can just stick it on a refrigerator or something. And most importantly, you will be needing a wood burning pen. The brand that I use is Walnut Hollow. This one right here was the detailing pen. This one looks a lot different than the one that I usually show in my videos. And I don't know, I just feel a lot more comfortable using this one. It has this little soft grip that I can use, and I feel like it can burn a lot faster than the other one can. This one only reaches to, I think, 700 degrees. So, I mean, it's still pretty hot, but sometimes I would need to lower the setting, and this one only has one set temperature, so you can't go any lower than it. And it comes with a very fine tip, just for very small details on your wood burn art. One thing that's so great about this red one is that it comes with quite a number of different tips to work with, and I think that's really awesome. And it also comes with lead-free solder and its own case as well. In case you guys are wondering how much this one is, it actually ranges between $30 and $35. At Joann's, they sell it for $35, and Michael's sells it for $30. And you can always use a coupon for 50% off to save you some money. Another thing that you'll be needing is a paint palette. And yes, you are just looking at a little notebook. This is my paint palette. I use this when I'm mixing colors and such, basically when I'm painting the pieces. So you don't need anything special like those special papers for paint. Just use go to your local $1 store and pick up a notepad, and that'll do just fine. What you'll be needing is some varnish. This is the sprayable varnish. You can find this in the paint section at your craft store. And this is just a high gloss varnish. You don't need to apply a lot of this, but it's just to help to seal in the color for your watercolor pencils or your watercolor paints. And it just helps protect it from water damage and anything like that. So highly recommend this piece if you do intend to color your pieces. And you just need a light coat. You can also use regular wood floor varnish, and that you can find at your local hardware store. What you would do if you want a super high gloss finish on your wood pieces and want a thick layer of it, I would suggest using a spray varnish first. So apply 1 or 2 coats of it onto your wood burn piece, allow some time for that to dry, and then add the wood floor varnish onto your piece and allow that some time to dry. Then you would have a pretty thick coat on top of your wood burn art. Now a lot of people are wondering, where do I start when it comes to wood burning? So what you want to do first is select the surface that you want to be working on. And in this case, I want to work on this very thin piece of wood. This one's actually laser cut. This one is very inexpensive, and they actually, I think it's about 30 cents or so, or 50 cents, sorry. What you want to do is pick the surface that you want to work on, and then take your pencil and just do a quick sketch on the surface of what you want to wood burn. In my case, I have a totoro on top of a doghouse. You just do your sketch, and then you would just follow through with wood burning this piece. I do have several wood burning videos that you can refer to, and I'll link that in the description box below in case you're interested. And then from there, you would color your piece. So here I have several examples. This one's a larger plaque that I've done, and I still need to finish it, but this is a Kill La Kill plaque. As you can see, I've colored it, and I used a mix of the watercolor in the tubes and as well as the watercolor pencils. This one I did a tutorial on, link in the description box. This one I didn't use the tube, I just used the watercolor pencil. The color came out a lot smoother on this one. There's an example of that just in case you want to color anything. And you're not just limited to that. I mean, if you don't have the funds to get watercolor pencils or watercolor tubes, you can just stick to just wood burning, and this is an example of what you can achieve from doing so. With the wood burning pen that I have, you can have different heat settings. That I think is absolutely awesome because that's what helped me shade different parts of their hair. So this is from Howl's Moving Castle, and this is my Princess Mononoke piece. This was actually the first one that I just strictly wood burn and did not color, and I thought it would look good with this one as well. So here are 2 pieces right there without color. I think without color looks just as great as with color. And from there, you have the option to add either a chain or a little wall hanging piece on the back. This one right here is called a sawtooth hanger, and that's if you guys don't want to have like a bulky chain around the top. So you just hammer this in with some nails. And the sawtooth hangers are $5 for a can of 25 pieces. If you want a chain attached, the materials you'll be needing are eye screws, jump rings, and a chain. And I do recommend using pliers for this. These unfinished plaques, they're pretty lightweight and easy to drill a hole through. You don't have to buy yourself a drill. You can just use your pliers and press hard up against the wood and it'll go through just fine. So those are your two options. So that pretty much sums it up. I've pretty much covered everything that you really do need to know. Everything is pretty basic. You honestly don't need a lot of materials for this craft medium. One thing I do recommend though is if you're under the age of 16, I recommend adult supervision because this tool gets very, very hot. I actually burned myself recently and it hurt pretty bad. I'm thankful that I can still have feeling in my finger. This thing is very hot, so you know, just overall be careful with this tool. It can be very dangerous and you don't want to set your house on fire. I hope you guys found this video helpful. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and leave some feedback down below, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!